Government spokesperson Felix Kwachi Ofosu has sharply criticized MP Reverend John Intim Fojo, accusing him of spreading falsehoods about alleged suspicious aircraft landing at Kotoka International Airport. The accusation follows President Mahama's order for a probe into Fojo's claims of drug and money laundering. Ofosu alleges Fojo is now backtracking, claiming his statements were made on behalf of a parliamentary committee and therefore he cannot cooperate with the investigation. The government maintains the MP's claims are politically motivated and lack a factual basis, aimed at undermining public confidence in administration.
In the last few days, the disinformation machine of the new Patriotic Party has been ratcheted up, and they've taken it a notch higher. This time, Reverend Intim Fojo, who also doubles as the Member of Parliament for the good people of Asin South, has made very wild claims to the effect that two aircrafts which passed through Ghana for various reasons were carrying drugs, and that was the reason why they were here. He also alleged that they were involved in money laundering, and therefore he was calling for investigations. As you may be aware, President Mahama gave him the opportunity to present any evidence or any basis he has for making that claim to the security services, so that together we could look into the matter to ascertain whether there was any truth in it. I can report to you that because he knew he was peddling total falsehoods and lies, he now claims, after being invited to assist with investigations, that he was speaking on behalf of the committee that he was part of, and that the views he expressed were not his personal views. So because of that, he says he's unable to cooperate with the security agencies. I say that he was peddling falsehood because the facts as they exist vary completely from the claims that he made. When he made that claim, he was only seeking to peddle falsehood in a bid to undermine the confidence that the people of Ghana have in this government. The truth is that two aircrafts with completely different purposes arrived in Ghana, and their arrival was perfectly legitimate, and they were here for very genuine reasons. The first one is an Antonov flight 12BK with registration number CVK 7037. Now, this flight essentially is a cargo plane which arrived on the 12th of March 2025. Now, no plane arrives in Ghana without a landing permit. So this plane secured a landing permit with number GAF/TMAO/25/7863. Now, the purpose for arriving in Ghana was what we call a technical stop. Essentially, this is a cargo flight that was destined for the European Union market. And European Union regulations dictate that some specific regulatory requirements be met before any plane of that sort can enter the EU. Now, this plane originated from Luanda in Angola. It was loaded with oil drill equipment and lubricant oil, which were contained in jerrycans. It was headed for the EU market. Now, Luanda does not have the certification to carry out the sort of requirements that this plane had to meet before entering the EU market. Now, the specific requirement is a scanning and screening RA3 procedure, which is a requirement to enter the European Union. Luanda doesn't have it. The Swiss cargo facility at the Kotoka International Airport has that certification, and they can do that kind of scanning. Whilst here, it developed an engine blade fault. Its engine blade was damaged, and then it was also detected that there was severe oil leakage, which required immediate attention. For that reason, a replacement aircraft, URCEZ, with registration number CVK 7007, was brought in to evacuate the cargo. The aircraft that was damaged remained here for 13 days. That is between 12 March and 25th March 2025, after it had been inspected by aviation security officials of the Narcotic Control Commission, officials of National Security and National Intelligence Bureau. No contraband or unlawful commodities were found on the aircraft. Now, the second aircraft in question is a Hawker 800 XP with registration number N823AM. Now, this aircraft is operated by an organization called AirMed International, which is based in Birmingham, Alabama, in the United States of America. It operates as an air ambulance. Now, Air Medical International flights in Ghana are handled by Tropicana Airlines. Now, this plane landed in Ghana on 20th March from Gran Canaria, Las Palmas, Spain, having gone through Luanda in Angola. Now, it was also here for a technical stop, which is refueling and crew rest, which is perfectly legitimate activity. It was cleared to land in Ghana with clearance number GAF TWXR 252604 OFAA 0297/25. Now, whilst it was landing in Ghana, it developed a tire burst and some difficulty with its landing gear, and therefore needed to remain here to be serviced. So another aircraft with registration number N864 arrived on 22nd March with tires and flight engineers from Luanda to replace the damaged tires of the aircraft. Now, once this was fixed, it departed the Kotoka International Airport on 25th March. The aircraft was once again inspected by officials of aviation security, officials of national security, officials of the National Intelligence Bureau, and NACOC, who made sure that it did not contain any unlawful substances, as alleged by Reverend Intim Fojo. So, in a nutshell, the claims of Intim Fojo are false. He cannot prove it. That is why he is running away from the investigative bodies. He is unable to provide any shred of evidence to back his claim.
Former Auditor General Daniel Domlevo has called for the top officials to be held accountable for the missing electricity company of Ghana containers, stressing that accountability often fails at higher levels. Meanwhile, police have arrested 2 suspects for illegally transporting ECG cables in the central region, while the truck driver remains on the run. Former ECG Managing Director Samuel Durik Mahama insists the 1,346 missing containers are still at the port, questioning how they could be auctioned without ECG's knowledge. He argues that containers cannot simply disappear due to their unique tracking numbers. The incident has raised concerns about possible corruption and mismanagement. West Africa Regional Director of CATS, Apiakusi Adumakun, has described the 10% tariff imposed by US President Donald Trump on Ghana as an opportunity to deepen intra-Africa trade and strengthen economic resilience. He urged Ghana and other African nations to leverage the African Continental Free Trade Area to cushion the impact, noting that its projected $3.5 trillion market offers a viable alternative. He emphasized the need to reduce reliance on external trade partners and enhance economic stability while addressing the issue. West Africa Director for CATS International, Apiakusi Adumakun, has warned of potential job losses in Ghana following the US government's recent 10% tariffs on Ghanaian exports. He highlighted the impact on companies operating under the African Growth and Opportunity Act, citing a garment manufacturer supplying major US brands like Walmart that may struggle to remain competitive, leading to layoffs. Adumakun cautioned that tariffs would weaken international trade and disrupt local industries reliant on American market. Adding to the uncertainty, he noted that AGOA, which grants Ghanaian exports duty-free access to US, is set to expire this year, and its renewal under Trump administration remains doubtful. Even if extended, He questioned whether President Trump might impose restrictions limiting Ghana's benefits under the agreement.